Here we go, aka Patters. So we're doing a couple new things today. I'm going to try and just catch up to. I just feel like as of right now, I've probably been like the most behind on work for a good stretch. But guys, welcome back to the channel. Peter A. DeLuca here. Now you might be catching me on a couple new streaming services. This is, in my view, the absolute importance of like you gotta pay for things. So StreamYard makes so much easy. They are constantly offering new features, new dynamics, new. It's just like there's always something new. Being able to hit the largest range of streaming platforms like possible, it's a big deal, aka Patter. So you might be catching me on Instagram today, which is, I mean, it doesn't look like I'm checking my phone. I'm seeing if it's hitting on my phone. I mean, I should be live on IG. I'm just having trouble confirming on my phone. It looks like I'm confirmed on my desktop right here. So we are there. Let's see. But yeah, guys, we're going to be doing traditional comic book inking today. So I kind of remembered when I started this, I may have had a round number 2, or maybe even like a script brush number 1 for Winsor and Newton. I am going to try and figure that out while we're going today, because I felt like you can kind of see here for Snake's hair, it's a little bit too thick. It doesn't quite it doesn't add to the rest of the line work. To me, this is like it's a stylistic fallacy. It's broken. It's the worst thing that ever happened on planet Earth. All of those fun things. So we're going to be back and forth. Hopefully, I can figure it out early. I don't know how long I'm going to go today. If you guys can hear the music, there's a literal pool party less than 100 feet from where I'm at right now. The pool's open. I got to do that today. I also have to go work out. I also have a barbecue to go to. So it's just a full day. All of those things, though, I will add to my Insta. So if you guys want to follow like those stories, please do. We just got there's just a lot of stuff cooking. And let me I'm closing out my Instagram right here, trying to reopen it to see if I'm live. I don't see that I'm live at all, which is very odd. I don't know if it goes out live. I don't know. I should be able to see it on my own platform though, right? Yeah, which I don't. The music is kicking up. Holy crap, it's getting loud. Let's just go back here. End live video. Yeah, I don't know. Like, is IG Live only live? Variant. Yeah. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, variant. Just so this is I'm just inking. This is Joe Mag's artwork. I believe this was for a cover of PlayStation Magazine. This is I started this a little bit ago. This is for a comic book called I think Mystical Creatures of some sort. I did this on a live stream. This is my penciling, my inking. This is Crow Quill. We're doing Joe Mad over here with traditional brush. Both are traditional techniques, but we don't do a lot of digital stuff here. We we do AI if you consider AI digital artwork, but I'm not. I practice AI art a couple days a week now. I think I'm getting pretty skilled at it, but I still push forward that like everything that's traditional, everything that is kind of fading away. I view streams like this as a way to maintain the throne, so to speak, and the throne is traditional comic book artwork. But cheers, variant. Good to see you, dude. Hopefully, so variant. So just keep in mind, if you subscribe, if you get me on any social media network, I do my very best to always update people when I'm live. I'm live when I broadcast. This is like the biggest one I've ever done. I'm on like the most platforms ever right now. So I'm spread across the internet to make myself a little bit more accessible, if that makes any sense. Yeah, 11 by 17. Yes. So variant, be mindful because I have to toggle. I don't get the IG conversations in my regular feed. I have to go to another tab. So if you ask a question, if I don't respond, always feel free to DM me. If you just want to know like a little to get a little bit of clarity on, what my thought process is, so on and so forth. I'm going to start with a little bit of pen over here just to again like unnerve myself, warm up just a little. The type of paper that this is on also, this is uh the toothy bristle board, the rough bristle board. This is not smooth. Now I've recently, within the last few years, switched over to Bristol Smooth for penciling and inking. And the reason for that is it just allows me to be a little bit quicker, even though I do enjoy the textured, uh, the vellum finished bristle board. I just view that, uh, like the way it grips your materials. I think it's there, and I think you have like a little bit more control. But yeah, this is really fun here. Just you find a piece on the internet and and it's like, wow, like you can work on it. Isn't that amazing? I think that's like the true power of everything online. It's just anybody can work on the Joe Mad piece. And at one point, right, like you would have to work for like Marvel or Image to work on a Joe Mad piece. I just think that stuff is very cool. So, and we're all about cool things here. Okay, seems like the music stopped. Yeah, variant. Yeah, dude. Yeah, we got more Rob Liefeld coming. By the way, uh, I've been like the way I develop my deep dives variant is like I really have to capture the era that the book was printed in. So even though like I grew up in the Rob Liefeld era and the Image Comics guys and all that, there's things that you miss or you didn't know or you even like forget. So I've been kind of on this Extreme Studios deep dive, and like there's just a lot of questions and things that I like, just basic like WTF stuff with Extreme Studios. And I'll be exploring that on the channel. But thank you so much for like checking that out, dude. Like I put a lot of time in the videos, a lot of time, a lot of thought. I'm taking a little bit of a break from that stuff this weekend, but we will. I mean, if you're just like overall like interested in the era of '90s comics, you you're really gonna want to pay attention to the channel because we're going to be doing a true deep dive on the '90s Fantastic Four, which is absolutely fascinating. The '90s Fantastic Four. So hopefully, I'll see you for that. And anyone out there, if you guys are really interested in comic book history, the '90s Fantastic Four is um, there's so much to understand about that. Yo, Windblock, what? What is up? But wind block. I'm gonna experiment real quick. I'm gonna bring this in as I normally do. I want to see is it available. I'm seeing if it pops up on Insta. We'll see. Maybe. Yes. Okay. So you're the overall chat. Skinny. Skinny, what's up, dude? I just saw it. So Skinny, just so you know, I'm on like multiple networks. I have to keep separate tabs open to monitor comments. But Skinny, dude, thank you. Dude, Skinny, let me show you something. No joke. Hang tight. Sorry, guys. I had these in a separate pile because I did a comic book haul yesterday. But Skinny, I wanted you to see some of these. I just picked these up, but what we were talking about, Brigade issue 2. So I had issue 2 only as newsstand. So I got two of the foils. They're in great, fantastic condition. This haul is coming up on the channel, but we're getting deeper in the Rob Liefeld stuff. FYI, the Rob Liefeld uh, deluge is coming soon. But Windblock, back to you, dude. Thank you so much, buddy. How's everything with your book? I haven't had any updates on your book. What do you need? Do you need help with your book, Windblock? Let me know what I can do for you. So some of these are too, again, like for the hair, not enough character, like at all. The luck, dude. I just quick side note, everyone. I love this avatar. The luck Nico. I just like like what's funny that the Powerpuff uh design, right? Like that never got like widely adopted. Yeah, and you kind because the proportions are so like it never like you think the Powerpuff Girl proportions would have become like a Funko type line. Never did though. Yeah, I've been so busy at work. Same here, dude. I feel like I've had a bad 2 months work wise, but like I don't mind, but it just keeps me away from this stuff. But I know the feeling, Wind Block, like for sure, dude. I always try and add texture whenever I can. Like if something kind of like has a canvas feel or just like kind of like rough or imperfect. So the guy to really look at for inking Joe Mad, in my opinion, is Tim Townsend. Uh, the collab that they had on X-Men, on Marvel's X-Men, I think is really top level, like Joe Mad inking. But Joe Mad too, if you guys don't know, like he uh got into the habit of ditching inkers, and he became like just a solo penciler. And his stuff always, you guys can tell from this piece, like his attention to detail always was very high end. And you kind of said to yourself a couple times, like early on, like if someone like at the time, like if a magazine interview or Wizard magazine, I know Wizard magazine had his 275 spread uh as an article, but like at the time you were like, holy crap, like this dude has really tight pencils, like why would you even ink him? And later, like he adopted that philosophy. Interesting transition nonetheless, because he pencils in such a way that he brings something out of the inker, and not like again, like very uncommon, and it's a good thing to understand for the artwork of the time. To where like Joe Mad, just to be very basic about it. Like I feel like he was ahead of his time. But his penciling style doesn't really allow him to be monthly very long. Like it takes him too long to be this tight. So there's concerns there just as a publisher. There's a lot to consider when you have someone that's really good, super popular, but slow. Like slow in comic book terms. Yeah, I hear you. Wind block. Catch up with you, buddy. Yeah, so let's see. I thought maybe I could go to my profile in IG, and maybe the live stream doesn't populate. Yeah, that's weird. Yeah, but either way, I mean, we're getting comments on and stuff, so it's good. Just good to see that. I'm not sure how it's accessible. Show comments on. You know what? Let's try this out right here. Believe it or not, there is like a lot of feathering here. Yo, Lord, what is? Hey, Lord, I'm sorry, I wasn't looking up. Did did you see if your chats popped up? I have a new feature that throws up the chats as soon as people put them into the chat field. Yeah, dude. No, just trying to like really, Lord. I am slowly trying to catch up on a lot of the work. We got a little bit tied up with the 9 to 5 job, which is like very satisfying. Yeah, in its own way, but it does kind of compromise some of my drawing time. I can do like everything else around my 9 to 5. Like I can do videos, I can do the podcast, but the live streams kind of take a little bit of a hit. And even this week, I wanted to go on. If you're not familiar, I go on a weekly show called the Hump Day Show, and that one just didn't sleep for almost like 2 days. By the time Wednesday hit, I needed to like crash out. Yeah, you see your chat. Awesome, dude. Awesome. Yeah, but it's good stuff, dude. Like, like I think crazy work is a good thing. I think it's good for the body, it's good for the mind to stay active. And yeah, I have a very very busy lifestyle. So a lot of it's like uh I just feel like for lack of a better example, I feel a lot like Ethan Hunt in Mission Impossible, and I have my entire time frame like mapped out, and I cannot miss a second. That is really how I feel a lot of times. But like I get FOMO. Like I want to, if I know people are doing things, and like family members and friends will be there. Like I don't want to miss out. That stuff's like because sometimes like you never know. If you ever dealt with death in this world, sometimes you don't know the last time you'll see someone. So see people when you can. So I'm going to break in some of my newer brushes just to kind of see what we have. A script number one here. So let me break up these bristles. And we'll see here. Yeah, I think some of this on smooth, really nice. But the script one, if you guys can see, it's like super long, super thin. Oh, all day. Holy crap. Yeah. Dude, Lord, I'm around, like some of my locations, client wise for the IT stuff. A lot of them are in shelters and stuff like that and halfway homes. And I see and I deal with those people. Not to your capacity, but no, dude, like I get it, and it breaks your heart sometimes. I think addiction is something that the average person does not, even though there's like so much info out there on addiction, and like documentaries, and it's very much in the culture and lexicon. I still feel like the average person does not understand what it's like to not be like to not to be able not to do something. I think there's and then there's gurus, and there's people out there that want to pretend they can help you with that stuff, and they're a part of the problem too. It's just like, what do you do sometimes? Well, I guess like they get people like you, experts. Yeah, over the last 10 years, over 150 died of overdose. Yeah. So wait, so that's like a couple a month at that point, right? Like that's just um what's it? Almost uh not once a week, but holy crap. Yeah, dude, like I've had friends that slipped into it, and these were I've known like silver spoon kids, kids with a fantastic family structure that slipped into it. So it's scary. It 100% is scary. So what do you do, Lord? Do you work in the institution, or are you like a little bit more of a social worker? Like do you go do you have like a list of people essentially, and you check in on them, and you do like the health checkups? Sorry, give me 1 second, guys. I'm just trying to map out some of these new brushes, and there's a lot to take in. Sometimes there's just like even here, like at the tips, like you got to break up the tips. Trying to be able to get a visual on what a brush does with the Black India ink is a part of the craftsmanship side of the process. Like you have to spend the money, you have to spend the time to know what the ink can do on different papers, what different brushes can do with different inks. Like like you need like all the different factors. You need to be able to calculate it. Crazy, yeah, I know. Yeah, recite. Yeah, that's not that's stuff I hear, dude. An aftercare program, but I used to be a resident manager there. I got you. Yeah, yeah, dude. Like I don't, Lord, there's this one kid that I knew from like from him being younger, like early 20s type stuff, and I could see with alcohol that um, like alcohol just like affected him just on like a more of an epic level, and you know it's the tale as long as time, but he gets involved with a chick, and the chick introduces him to like hard drugs, and that dude has never been the same, like just never been, and it's sad. And the last time I saw him, like randomly, he was like coming off one of the trains in Philly, and he just looked like he was out of his mind. And it's just like, like at that point, if like you just want to take that person and zap them into another place, just to be away from like everything. And it's tough. feel sorry for you guys because I know doing the blacks is the least visual, the least entertaining part of some of this. So right now I switched to a 2 round that is way more helpful. And sometimes I get locked in on the material, like on the tool. So for like years, like I've just been using a script number 3 and going from there. And sometimes, like you get the right effect, but if you don't use enough of a range, often enough, like you lose perspective of what certain tools are there for and what they can do, and you realize like what really you're blind to and missing out on. Yeah, fentanyl. Yeah, dude, I know people that overdose on fent. I know people that snorted fent thinking it was cocaine and died. I would say 3 years ago during COVID in Philly, fentanyl cocaine was huge. I think in one stretch, maybe in like not even a month, maybe like 3 weeks, I had two separate people tell me of relatives that they had and people or friends. I think one was a bartender, local bartender, and you just you're like, where such and such, and it's like boom, and it's crazy, when you like partied with particular people, like like you're kind of in that same circle, so it's like you're kind of guilty of it too, and that's not enough to like scare the living hell out of you. I don't know what is. Yeah, a bunch of suicides. Yeah, yeah, and that's the that's the other thing too, dude. Like I never thought I would know people that committed suicide, and the older I get, the more people that kind of fell off the map I learned about did that. Family members that kind of went dark, went silent. Uh, I would say like maybe like one girl, but mostly like all men. And yeah, like I knew a girl that myself I was on a suicide watch like for because I thought I thought she was going to just like do it. And it's nuts, dude. Like that's one of the other things too, where you're almost just like completely helpless. And like what can you do for that person? Because it's not like it's would be a little bit different if you could just commit someone. Yeah, like if that was a little bit easier, I think a lot of the world's problems would be healed by that alone. If you could just find a way to put someone away to get help. But yeah, there's a lot of human rights type stuff around that, and they don't like it. Yeah, I think, dude, Lord, I think the way to correct recovery is I feel like these people should be 100% relocated, and they have to be away from their environment. They have to be away from their family. They have to be away from friends that are also in, because you have to kind of say most of their friends are users. So, like, where can that person go to where they're completely isolated to learn to learn the tools and to like move on in life? Because you kind of have to say at one time that, and I make this argument against me. Like I think the average person, like if you know someone that's addicted, I think you have to hold yourself accountable. I think if you know someone addicted to alcohol, you even though you're not addicted, you can have a couple drinks and you can go home at the end of the night. Uh like you're accountable. I think if someone's an alcoholic and you are around alcohol yourself, I think you're accountable. Yeah, I think these people need absolute strength. They need absolute toughness. And the last thing they need is their friends and family like acting like the only thing you have to do is not do it. I don't know. I call BS, and people push back against that all the time on to me. Yeah. Yeah, dude, I can imagine. And yeah, like it is like one of those things too, to where like you kind of have to say that there's enough money in the system where like people like you, Lord, should be amazingly like well paid, and you should be held accountable on results, right? Like amazing money, but you need results. Like, isn't that like right? Like, doesn't that just like that would make me want to sign up, right? Like that would just draw in like so many more people. But the money, like again, like the money, I just don't think is fair. I think it should be more money for the practitioners. I feel like I am just butchering his hair right now. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that like it's almost like it's weird, Lord. It's you kind of want to say these people need to go to like an island, and it needs to be the equivalent of because it's really uh like the people that they're around. And I think that's like clear stuff. I think like once you've spoken to enough of them and you know enough people that were unsuccessful with rehab, I even think the average person, would kind of see that. But it's hard too, because like, the average person, it's not like they're invested because all these things are kind of hidden. Even within like the urban sprawl, like or even like within the city. Like you think like in Philly, like things are closer and this and that, but like all that stuff is well hidden. And you kind of want to say if it was more in people's faces, they would do something about it. Yeah, like a little bit of a movement. $15 years. What were you on, Lord? Like what was your vice? Thanks, Lord. Always appreciate it, buddy. Give me a second. I'm going to let you answer that. I'm going to fly right back to Insta. Oh, jeez. Lord. Oh, my God. Oh, okay. I see the chats now. Nice. The chats are coming in. That's so awesome. Never look back. So what was trouble? Was it prison? Dude, that's not an easy world to get out of, dude. It's just it's not. You know, I got friends right now that I see on a regular basis that are struggling every single day. And it's tough, dude. Like it's tough to know what to do. This I have to clean that up. That is way too big. Too thick. Yeah, it scared me straight. Oh, you were being investigated. Oh, jeez. Here we go. Wasn't expecting that, dude. What came of it? Do you know? Like, did they? I guess they figured it out, right? If right, like if you weren't involved any further. And what happens with that? Like, are you brought in? Like, were you? Did you have the cash flow to get like a lawyer? Like, that's interesting, dude. Like that is, but that's life though, dude. Like like there's a little bit of me that's almost just like like that's a person with a lived life. Like you like like you're supposed to have a life, and it's not easy or like a straight line. Oh wow, wow, still unsolved. Yeah, because like, dude, like if it's cold cases can get like reopened. Right? That's dude, that's one of the things I know from all those documentaries. The cold case can get reopened. Yeah, oh, yeah, it's not. No, no, and it's not uncommon. You know, it's not against the law for police to lie to you either, or investigators. Yeah, no, I get it, dude. Yeah, it is a world. It 100% is a world. Dude, I don't know, Lord. I know. I was actually at a local comic. I mean, not really local, but I was at a comic shop yesterday, and the guy was talking about Battle Beast being like the book that people are reading. The only other book that the one book that I just hear like nothing but good things about is Transformers. People really enjoy that, and yeah, like it seems to be the only book on the market right now, and both are skybound, which is wild. Like the Walking Dead guy has the only the only things that draws attention to comic shops right now, other than comic shops closing. Yeah, I really did butcher his hair. Yeah, but I had the wrong brush. Oh, cool. Let's. Yeah, dude, I got a be on pay attention to my channel, Lord, because I have a Ryan Ockley book that people completely forgot about that I'll be reviewing, or just not reviewing, just doing a walkthrough on it. Yeah, it's time we talk about Ockley, just as like one of the guys, one of the names. Nice. I'll check out the vid, Lord. Definitely. Oh yeah, the sticker on the brush. Yeah, but no, uh, Frederick, I keep these. I keep them, and I will. I need to record this info, and I keep like a contact. I have like a Windsor and Newton brush category in my or entry in my contact list. So if I'm ever out somewhere, I can get someone there to ID it for me and to if they have to go somewhere else in the shop to look for something. Yeah. Sometimes it's like you gotta just do the work. So pick up the tool, like do the work, do the work. You know, that's just my attitude. I gotta wipe that out. Just messed that up. Sometimes it's hard to see what the lines are because it's not like this was like a high res piece. This is like very pixelated. See, some of the feathering is I can tell it's a different brush too. Yeah, and I forget what brush I grabbed at the time, and I don't think I have it. So we need to white out. So I may do some white out and jump ship. We have to fix the ear here, still the top of his hair. But I would say like the difficult stuff is like we're done here. Like the rest is the grunt work. So we're leaving us in a good place. So let's see here. And you know what's like the funny thing is I don't have a fine whiteout brush. I need like a high quality whiteout brush, which I don't have. Oh, this is the wrong one. This is for pen. Here we go. Go. Yeah, so some of this will get reworked. Not many problems. A lot of times when I get to this stage in inking, I see nothing but problems, and it's hard for me to like look at it. So like again, like these lines here will be more tapered off. Making these halos a little bit more prominent, give them a little bit more of a design tone, design intention. We'll do a little bit more of that here once this is all blacked in. Like we'll do that here along the gun. But like it's good sometimes to give I don't like doing it, but it's good to kind of give the form separation. That whiteout's going to take a little bit of time, and then it's it's the whiteout process and the brush process to taper off these lines. Again, like a lot of this stuff here to get the right thick to thin takes time. This piece, the mystical creatures, I think, mystical animals. Hojo, that's that sort of guy. Look him up on Twitter. Nice guy, always available. You can get his book there. All right, everyone. I got to jump ship. I got things to do. I'll catch you guys later. Well, we're going to wrap it up with a video intro with a loop to give you guys time to get out.